On a side street in central Havana, kids being kids, not a worry in the world. Watching on the sidelines, 13-year-old Luigi Hernandez and his 10-year-old friend Leonardo Fabio anxiously wait in line for their chance to play. Even at their tender age, they say they have a view on what changes could be coming to their country with the promise of better relations with the United States.
Without
this blockade, we won't have to bring everything from China. So maybe our school lunches will get better. Everything will be more modernized.
Most Cubans don't have internet at home, and Leonardo is hoping that will now change so he can do things many other children in the world now take for granted.
I think it will be better because we will have the power to communicate with people that are abroad by internet, to connect with them, to send emails, like to my father, who has been living in the US the past months.
Cuba is a country where for decades the big, important decisions have been made by a small group of leaders, like Fidel and now his brother Raul Castro, now in his 80s. It is they who have shaped Cuba into what it is today.
But it's the Cuban children, those so young they have no historical context of where the country's been, that could gain the most in the long term from the new relationship with the United States, especially if the blockade is completely lifted. Either way, they'll be the first generation that could be growing up in a new Cuba.
But that's if they decide to stay. Look everywhere around Havana, and you'll see signs of Americana in unusual places. But for kids, it's not a political statement, just a fashion trend of the moment, but it's now more symbolic than ever of the decision to leave or stay.
For sure, I wanted to live in the United States because it's better for my future.
I want to visit the US, but I still want to continue to live here in Cuba.
As the sun sets on the famous city boardwalk, kids gather to catch the last rays of afternoon sun, even the youngest knowing full well that their country is entering uncharted waters. Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, Havana.